Imagine a city so obsessed with power that it puts a dead man on trial, not metaphorically, not as a legend, a corpse. In 897, Pope Formosus had been declared dead for several months when Pope Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of the body. Clerics, attendants, and officials were summoned to the Lateran Basilica. Early in the morning, workmen carefully opened Formosa's grave. The coffin lid was lifted and the body was examined to ensure it remained intact. Wooden supports and cloth wrappings were adjusted to maintain posture during transport. The corpse was carried into the palace by attendants, wrapped loosely in the linen for stability. Clerics followed, chanting prayers for the dead as they moved through the narrow streets. Crowds gathered in silence, peering from windows and alleyways. Each step was recorded by scribes assigned to document the entire proceeding. The procession reached the hall where the trial was to take place. Inside the hall, a throne was prepared for the body. Wooden braces held Formosus upright. The papal vestments were placed carefully over the corpse. The white alb, the stole, and the chasuble. A tiara was placed atop the head. Attendants adjusted the arms and hands so they rested naturally on the throne's armrests. Candles were positioned to illuminate the figure, and scribes set up tables with documents and ink to record the trial verbatim. Stephen VI entered and took his place at the head of the hall. Clerics and officials lined the room in rows, facing the throne. A deacon stepped forward with a formal list of charges. He read each accusation slowly and clearly: perjury, violation of canon law, and illegal papal ascension. Each charge was accompanied by dates, locations, and references to specific acts during Formosus' papacy. Witnesses were called in sequence. Each bishop, cleric, or lay official described actions taken by Formosus. Witnesses included legates who had traveled under his authority, scribes who had copied his decrees, and advisors who had observed his decisions. Each statement was read aloud and transcribed by scribes at tables along the hall. The body remained propped upright on a throne, motionless throughout. Attorneys and clerics representing Formosus spoke on his behalf. They cited specific decrees, letters, and papal acts that had been issued during his tenure. Each argument was read carefully, line by line. No response could be given by the corpse, but the officials and scribes recorded every defense. Ceremonial gestures punctuated each session. Bows, silent prayers, and pauses to allow scribes to complete transcripts. The trial continued in sessions. Each accusation was addressed individually. The deacon read the first charge, witnesses spoke, and clerics confirmed dates and locations. Then the second charge with all procedural repetition. Every act of Formosus under scrutiny was documented. The body's posture was adjusted periodically and attendants ensured the throne remained stable. After hours of testimony and presentation, the final session began. Stephen VI pronounced Formosus guilty on all counts. Clerics and scribes recorded the verdict. Attendants removed the vestments carefully, first the chasuble, and then the stole, and then, finally, the tiara. Each piece was handled with ceremonial precision and documented. The three fingers used for blessings, thumb, index, and middle finger of the right hand, were cut off. The act was performed with care by designated clerics, each step recorded by scribes. The fingers were shown to the assembly before being set aside. The corpse was then prepared for transport. Formosus' body was placed on a cart. Clerics and attendants guided it through the streets, keeping it upright with wooden braces. Crowds watched quietly, some whispering, others stepping back. The carts followed a predesignated route to the banks of the Tiber. Every step was noted in chronicles, distances traveled, gates passed, and the names of attendants. At the river, the corpse was lifted and thrown into the waters. The body floated briefly before sinking. Clerics observed the process, recording the event for official records. Attendants returned to the palace. The hall remained empty except for the throne, once occupied by the corpse. Candles were extinguished. The deacon copied the final notes of the trial into permanent records. Within weeks, Pope Stephen VI faced opposition. Clerics who had opposed the trial organized his disposition. He was arrested and imprisoned. His authority over Rome collapsed. Meanwhile, Formosus' body was retrieved from the Tiber by church officials. The corpse was washed, wrapped in linen, and placed in a coffin for reburial. The reburial took place in St. Peter's Basilica. Clerics recited prayers over the coffin. The coffin was lowered into the tomb and sealed. Every step was recorded. The names of clerics present, the timing of the prayers, the placement of the coffin, and the completion of the interment. The body remained undisturbed thereafter. Witnesses named in the records included deacons, bishops, and lay officials. Each provided dates, locations, and specific action of Formosus during his life. Every procedural step was meticulously documented. Charges were read aloud, witness statements recorded, verdicts pronounced, vestments stripped, fingers amputated, corpse transported, river disposal, and final reburial. The Cadaver Synod remains the uniquely documented event. Every exhumation, trial, mutilation, disposal, and reburial was noted in chronicles. Clerics recorded names, actions, objects, locations, and times. The entire process from the opening of the grave to the sealing of the reburial coffin was carried out in strict chronological order.